I am an IT consultant with a UK location of 37 years. I've been an MGTOW all my life without even realizing it. I've had a few brief relationships and flings, but I've never been able to find a girl I thought was worthy of a committed, fun, and loving relationship. A female close friend of mine informed me. A friend who looks very nice. Because I dispel their superiority, a lot of girls wouldn't go out with me. They quickly get a taste of their desire to control the relationship through my take-no-prisoners attitude and above-average appearance. I used to be 9 in terms of looks, and I was always asked by girls if I had ever done any modeling. Because of my European heritage, I was a stubborn guy who was always too proud to even approach women, always saying, "Let them come to me because I don't want to chase." They still did not approach me as frequently as I had hoped. And the only girls I did meet were mostly through social media or at a party. Regardless, I wasn't always have been content. I've seen all of my beta friends get married and get fat, buy a trendy apartment, grow my career, and travel a lot. I spent a lot of money on business class tickets for long-haul flights, but recently I decided to try Tinder, Cupid, or Bumble to see if there was a nice girl I wasn't seeing. I have to be in it to win. Regardless, I displayed 5 images of myself. I've had between 60 and 70 matches on Tinder, about 20 on OkCupid, and only 8 or 9 on Bumble since then. Overall, there weren't many bad matches, all between 6 to 8 in rating. Despite women's assertions that men do not, I always start the conversation. Thus, this is what takes place. I start with something funny and very basic, but not in a vulgar way, and about half of them don't respond. Even though some girls have swiped to their right because they like how they look, they still do not talk to me. After 12 to 24 hours, some of them simply unlatch. I haven't even started the conversation yet, but I've had girls talk to me for 2 paragraphs and are simply unmatched. Of the 50% of girls who do respond, more than half write a few lines before dropping off and going silent. Always anticipating that I would pursue the conversation. Then I just give up because they aren't pleading with me or coming after me. Over a few days, the other people talk briefly before going silent as well. That's what they want, as if I were the man who was supposed to be chasing them the whole time. Additionally, when you do pursue them, either they do not respond or they release you. In about 100 matches, you never seem to win. I have only organized 4 dates, of which only 2 have taken place, and only 5 contacts have been added to my phone, resulting in 2 drinks wasted. I set up a date with one girl, was communicating with me, and discussing the location and time with me up until a few hours earlier. Then, about 30 minutes before I was supposed to meet her and leave the house, I noticed that her WhatsApp picture had vanished, and she wasn't matching me. Overall, my experience with Tinder and similar apps indicates that women are using it for narcissism, match collecting, and attention, and that it is a complete waste of time. Additionally, as a deluded man, I've heard of men who have left Tinder and said, "I simply do not believe that they are receiving a lot." Anyway, I've come across some photos and profiles that have blown my mind and given me a lot of jolts of the red pill truth. The reason why only 50% of women on Tinder responded to you is straightforward. This is because their priorities are higher and they have better prospects than you. You also say that you sometimes send them 2 paragraphs of text and they don't respond. The answer is that you aren't creative enough and don't want them enough. Your conversation demonstrates that you were not sufficiently thirsty. Women don't want a man who is thirsty because he will put them in the friend zone. However, if he doesn't show any thirst at all, they ignore him because he can't be controlled. In your comments, you also said that you are happily single, that you would put an end to women's superiority, and that you wouldn't let them run the show. That goes against social norms, and the majority of women will not tolerate anything that is not politically or socially acceptable. Because your comments and questions appear to have been generated by voice detection software, it is also quite evident that you operate in the information technology industry. I looked through the pictures you sent me with this message and noticed 4 distinct sections that I want to share with everyone. Right? What they mean as well. Because doing so would get me into trouble in the future, I was unable to reveal the names, ages, and images of the women to anyone. Please allow me to read these comments first. The first one reads, "Classy women don't do things one night. We recently held auditions, but you were not contacted." That simply indicates that she is shifting the blame away from the man who met with her in the first place and covering up her one-night stands with plausible deniability. He isn't good enough because she didn't call him back at the same time. Her comment also says that she was willing to meet him again and possibly become his girlfriend, but he failed the test, so she moved on. It's a pretty clever wordplay. As a result, this woman makes the subsequent statement, which reads, "As a result, I will probably block you as a friend, but for the lucky few, you might get my famous hug and roll." She's at least being open about her dislike of most men and her willingness to meet attractive men if she likes them. This woman is being truthful, and she's making us laugh because we can't hate someone who makes us laugh. That is a fact that science has established. The following comment reads like this: "I hate it when guys ask me to watch Netflix and chill with them, and then let me sit there and watch the entire show without ever doing anything." Why is that the case? Because she has invited him back to watch television with her and chill. This woman is signaling to a man that she wants him. The guy either doesn't like her at all, is very shy and nervous, or doesn't know that inviting you over is like inviting her to her bedroom. When I was younger, no man was willing to tell me what to expect, so it took me some time to figure this out. The final comment comes from a single mother who says, quote, "I'm 5'6", and I'm looking for a genuinely nice guy to have good times with, someone who can treat me like a princess and make their world." This is the comment that I'm referring to. Tinder might not be the best place for this. I enjoy a good joke. I enjoy eating, particularly steak, drinking beer rather than wine, and sleeping. That concludes my thoughts for the day. If you chase women, it shows that you can fall in love and be emotional. Women naturally want a man who is easier to control and who is also emotional. If you aren't going cuckoo for puffs, you aren't giving her enough attention in the amount she expects and probably wants.